So you're thinking about making the move to Sacramento, California, and you've heard of a Rancho Cordova. You don't really know what it's all about. You heard that maybe it's Gold River, maybe it's Anatolia. We're going to talk about locations, schools, and everything to do with Rancho Cordova. So if you're moving to Sacramento, or if you're moving specifically, or you heard about the Rancho Cordova and you want to get information on it, this video is for you. So let's get into it. As always, we got Aaron. Aaron, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm doing good. We sure get a lot of questions about Rancho Cordova. I feel like we can't get away with doing any data on any of the local markets without Rancho coming up. So excited to talk about that today.
I mean, in fact, the reason why we're doing this video specifically is because after we did our last video on Folsom, someone said, can you please do Rancho Cordova? Rancho's an interesting one. There's, depending on where you live, there's 3 different school districts you can be a part of, all that kind of stuff. So, it's really important to know what area of Rancho you're looking at. There's, the Anatolia area, where all the new homes are being built and everything, too. There's the Gold River area that actually shares the Rancho zip code. And you got Rancho kind of further down the 50. So there's a lot of different parts of Rancho, and they're all different. So getting into it right now, we will show you a little bit. First of all, let's go to the big map right here. As far as Sacramento, it's not that far from downtown. If you guys are thinking about, I want to go downtown, I need to be close to downtown, probably about a 21-minute drive, depending on what part, of course. What do you think about location-wise?
It's definitely convenient. I mean, most of the Rancho Cordova is right off of the 50 corridor. And, I'm sure we'll dive into this a little bit more, but if you're in the Anatolia side, depending on if your kids go in the Elk Grove school district or those kinds of things, it's pretty easy to get into Elk Grove as well. So from a location standpoint, it's pretty good in my opinion.
I think it definitely works. Just think if you're thinking about going to downtown, shopping for the most part for you guys is probably going to be Folsom, or you're going to have to shoot down Sunrise to go to Roseville or up Hazel, which are not that fun of streets, but at the same time, that's where you're at. I'd also think the thing about Rancho too, depending on, we'll go into the schools in a second, depending on where you're actually jumping into, there's some shopping. There's Costco. There's a Costco in Rancho, kind of close to White Rock. You can get your Costco pizzas there. You got the Zinfandel shopping market. You got KP Market, which is a heavy hitter too, if you like getting, different variety of foods. But there is some shopping in Rancho, so you don't really have to go too far out if you don't want to. As far as what do you think as far as the shopping goes, as far as Rancho goes?
Funny, coincidence. I was literally just in that little KP shopping zone yesterday. We were out and about, up in El Dorado Hills yesterday, and I promised my daughter we would stop at a frozen yogurt shop, and I made the mistake of not looking at the hours ahead of time, and of course the one that I was planning on going to was shut. And right down Highway 50, right on the north side of Rancho, there's that shopping center. So I was literally there. We went to that Menchie's place where, you get to make your own yogurt or whatever. But I've been around this area for decades, and Rancho has always had a lot of shopping, especially off of that Zinfandel 50 corridor. You got all kind of the big box stuff. And then, there's those Asian markets too, all the KP markets and everything. I don't know if you've ever gone in those, but it's crazy how big they are and all the stuff that they got in them and everything. So it's a pretty popular shopping center.
KP Market's fun. Also at nighttime, they have a mean karaoke lounge as well too. So it's good. I mean, if you're looking for kind of diversity of food, I think you can go there. A lot of people love KP Market. A lot of people moving in from the Bay are KP Market is why I discovered Rancho. So I like it. I think the shopping is good. I think you'll find stuff at KP Market you might not find anywhere else in the Sacramento area, like fresh fish and everything too, which we really like. So Rancho is an interesting one as well too. I'd say there's little pockets of Rancho that most of the people will never know about. You'll never know about this unless you basically, you sell a lot of houses there or you list them. Like for me, we do a lot in Rancho area, and there's definitely the specific niche areas. Some have HOAs, some don't. Some are kind of like the ranch style homes where you can get them maybe for $450-ish. Some are maybe the newer built home by the Kaisers over there, that little community over there. Then you got like the Anatolia area. So you just got to wade through like the Melrose. You got to wade through the HOA as well too. So it's interesting. Older Rancho, you're going to find like, ranch style homes. They're very, very nice. Don't get me wrong. They're, simple homes, right? No Melrose, usually no HOAs. And then the stuff kind of like by Zinfandel, like, like by kind of like that area, Beezer built some new homes. Those have Melrose. And I think there's HOAs as well too. And if you go further down past Kaiser, there's another bunch of houses over there that are newer as well too. No HOAs and no Melrose. So it's just like a little bit of like, you just got to make sure you know where you're looking. You know what I mean, Aaron?
Well, yeah, and just like anywhere in Sacramento, it kind of depends on, like, everybody always asks us, like, hey, is this a good spot to live? Or like, is this a good location or whatever? And it's like, well, it could be for me, but I don't have your lifestyle. So I don't know, like, where are you planning on spending your time and driving to, working to, all those kinds of things. And so depending on what the answer is to that, Rancho can be great or it could be terrible depending on, like, if you're trying to spend, for instance, like all your time in the Elk Grove side of town, well, you wouldn't want to live on the north side of 50. That would be inconvenient. But like Anatolia, That would be awesome. So it's just, you got to kind of pick, the place based off of where you are going to spend your time for school, shopping, work, all those things.
Okay. I mean, you're completely right. Rancho is completely spread out as we see here. I mean, a lot of people like the Anatolia area, as you can see right over here, that's kind of closer to Elk Grove. Gold River area is kind of closer to Fair Oaks. And then you got other parts of Rancho, they're kind of closer to downtown. So you got to know exactly what part of Rancho you like. I would say if you're looking at Rancho that's maybe closer to downtown, it's going to be a little bit more of the affordable housing as far as like, I say that with a grain of salt because it's very subjective, but I'd say like you could still get that done for about $450. Gold River, I'd say the median home price in Gold River has got to be about 6.5 around there to get something there. Anatolia, you're going to get newer, but you're probably going to be around over 500 there. And it just depends. Like I said, you have to deal with Melrose in some areas, HOAs in some areas. Gold River HOAs can be absolutely like a lot, right? They can go up to as much as like $530 a month. And in some parts of Gold River, you got to know the difference between the Brown Powell homes and the other homes. And there's just a lot of specifics about the Rancho areas. And also another thing leading into that as well too is there's 3 different school districts in the Rancho area. Oh, and before we get into that, let me explain something to you. Whenever I talk about Gold River is a master plan community pretty much in Rancho, right? It's there. Anatolia is pretty much a master plan community also. There are definitely kitty corners, right? That's why if you live in Gold River, sometimes and you're typing in an address and all of a sudden it populates with Rancho, that's kind of why it happens. So Gold River, master plan community, pretty much in Rancho. And then Anatolia, master plan community, pretty much, or Anatolia pretty much master plan community in Rancho as well too. Now Anatolia, that master plan community happened around 2005, 2006, just before the crash, a lot of it. And now they've kind of re-engaged. Now the interest rates and, stable market, boom. Gold River houses were in the 80s. And so they're going to have a little bit more of the 80s style too. Both are nice, green, different vibe. I'd say definitely check out both. What do you think about Gold River and what do you think about Anatolia?
What I always tell people about Gold River is like Gold River's really nice and it has always been really nice as long as I can remember, but it's very strict. That's part of why everything looks so nice. Everybody's lawns are perfect. Everything matches. Like it's aesthetically it looks really great, but you're going to have the higher HOA dues and they're very picky over there. Like you don't just get to go like plant a tree in your front yard if you want a tree in your front yard. It's got to be an approved tree and a specific, blah, blah, blah. So, it's that can be great for certain people that want to live, in that kind of lifestyle, where you don't have to worry about your neighbors, painting the house pink or whatever. Anatolia, it's a lot looser than Gold River, I would say. And you also have a lot more variety of homes because there's a handful of different builders that have built out there in the little villages and all that stuff.
Anatolia, the reason why I call it Anatolia that's one master plan community, and there's a bunch of communities out there, but it's just kind of known through Sacramento. There are also houses here, and I'll see if I can pull one up, that are in Gold River that are not the Powell Brown homes. And here's something like, here's your kind of a traditional kind of like the ranch style home. This is probably going to be a little bit closer to Anatolia as well too. And you're going to see some of the older ones as well too. You're going to see some older homes here. Like I said,
Yeah, that one right there, or the other one on Las Plazas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Sacramento, but you're going to see this merging between Rancho and Sacramento as well too. But you're going to see some of the older style kind of ranch style homes in certain parts of Sacramento, in certain parts of Rancho as well too. But you're going to see also like the stuff in Anatolia is going to be like this stuff, right? It's going to be like a little bit more modern, a little bit more sleek, a little bit more like this. And a lot of the new homes will also put their staple by putting them on the MLS too. The big thing about Gold River is like I said, going into this is that the fact that there are 3 different school districts in the Gold River area. And so let's get into that just a little bit so we don't confuse you guys even more. Okay, there's the Elk Grove Unified School District. And I know what you're thinking, no way, Rancho's so far away. But the Anatolia area, that whole area is part of the Elk Grove Unified School District, which is one of the greatest appeals about it. You know what I mean, Aaron?
Well, yeah, and especially whenever the powers that be move forward with turning Grant Line into like a freeway, basically, it'll make getting basically like the Anatolia Elk Grove commute is going to be a zip. I mean, you're talking about like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, stuff like that. But that's one of the major draws for that part of town is, families that want to basically get into a good school district. There you go. Elk Grove's a great one.
Now, here's the thing though, too. In that area of Rancho, there is a really, really good, like subjective, of course, but look at greatschools.org, elementary school. But in order to go to middle, in order to go to high school, also, there is a little bit of a drive. People have said there's about a 20 to 30 minute drive to get from that part of Rancho all the way to Elk Grove. So as far as the schooling goes, so just know that right now that's in place. So that's just a little bit heads up for you guys. And also, I would say in the Anatolia area, or that part of Rancho, you're talking about 50-50 of the houses are HOA'd. I would say at least maybe 75 to 85% of the homes there do have Mello-Roos, so just be aware. In Gold River, I would say HOA, everybody has it, except if you're in Gold Station, which is part of Gold River. That's the only part of Gold River that doesn't have HOAs. The Powell homes tend to have maybe like way higher HOAs, and the non-Brown homes tend to have lower HOAs, and they're less restrictive as well too. So that's something to keep in mind. So the Elk Grove Unified is for that part of Rancho, Anatolia. Like I said, it's a big draw, but at the same time, in that area between that Anatolia Rancho area and Folsom, they plan on building a new middle school, high school, and elementary school. So the drive could change. So that could be fun. What do you think, Aaron?
I think that'll be, whenever that happens, that's going to blow that whole side of the community up. I mean, that's really like the only thing that's kind of held back growth, in my opinion, is that the south side of that whole neighborhood is essentially like backs up to the country, right? But that's also the same side that Folsom, all the builders are building south from. Elk Grove, the builders are building south, and of course Rancho, Anatolia, the builders are building south. So that at a certain point, it's all going to connect, and then obviously be a lot more convenient for people to zip around. But I've had a lot of clients over the years move out there, and really the only thing that you ever hear complaints about for the most part is the rendering plant. And a lot of people, you can't talk about Anatolia without the rendering plant, but it's just on certain evenings, those hot August nights or whatever, sometimes it can smell a little funky out there. But you too you get used to. I remember growing up in Elk Grove, everything smelled like cow poop basically. So it was like you kind of get used to your environment too. So I'm not even sure how much it really bothers people once they actually live out there.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about living out there. As far as being close to Folsom Ranch and the bang for your buck, I would say that part of Rancho, the Anatolia kind of area, I mean, I look at that as one of the best bang for your bucks out there. I mean,
sure.
And as far as the incentives are giving too. So I think, as far as people are looking at that, it does somewhat make sense. But yeah, it is. I mean, I would go out there, like I said, on this channel with Aaron and I, you're going to get complete 100% transparency. So just if you have any questions, ask Aaron or ask myself, hit us up. We're here for you. And if you are enjoying this video, smash that like button. It would mean a whole lot to us, and it would push us out to the YouTube algorithm, and that would be great. Okay, so now, we defined Elk Grove Unified basically being in that Anatolia kind of area. Now, this is where it gets interesting. San Juan Unified, right? Gold River is actually in the San Juan Unified. It's the only kind of part of Rancho, kind of that area that is part of it. So Gold River is there, and they built that on purpose, like master plan. That's where they wanted the schools to be. And then the rest of Rancho is in the Folsom Cordova Unified School District. So for you guys out there, if you're thinking, oh man, we just want to buy in Rancho, understand that go to greatschools.org, figure out the address, and figure out the school districts, because schools are very subjective, and you need to figure out exactly what you're buying, not only for the amazing house and not only for the amazing lender and realtor you're working with, but also you got to know about the schools. So just understand that it can get a little confusing in Rancho, but this is kind of what it looks like. And like I said, like swinging into new homes. I mean, there's no new home building in Gold River. In the Rancho area, there's no new home building that I know of going on right now. In the Anatolia area, that part of kind of White Rock and everything, everyone's building underneath the sun. So if you're looking for some new homes right now, they stopped building in the Zinfandel area. You're going to get off on the 50. If you're going towards Folsom, you're going to get off the 50, and then you're going to take a right and drive. You're going to pass a Costco, and then you're going to keep going, and you're going to see a plethora. Yes, a plethora of building. There's Lennar. There's There's Woodside. There's Pulte. There's Tri-Point. There's Richmond. You name it, they're all building out there. The other thing, just a little bit of a note, this area here is maybe about 10 minutes from Folsom Ranch on the back roads too. So that's interesting, but there's a lot of new home building. So if you're thinking Rancho, but you're not seeing a lot of new home building in other parts of Rancho, it's because all the new home building is happening out around that Anatolia area. And that's where you're going to find all the new homes.
Builders are just going gangbusters down there. That's part of why I think there's a lot of if you were going to pick areas that have a good amount of growth potential, I would list Rancho as one of those areas, because you've got off of Sunrise Boulevard, which is like, kind of think of that as like the main thoroughfare going north and south of through Rancho. That's like the business district. Rancho Cordova is known for tons of businesses are based out of Rancho Cordova, and that's not going to change. And so in terms of, growth opportunity, it just seems like there's a whole lot of long-term growth potential with just kind of how things are turning out with that area. Same thing with Folsom, Southside, Elk Grove, all of that. They're all just kind of connecting at a certain point.
Oh, 100%. I think if you're looking for something new, I think that the community, let's say you're saying to yourself, I want something new. I want a brand new house. I would say I want to keep it under 550. I would say the places that are giving smoking incentives right now are like the Rancho area, West Roseville, Anatolia, maybe some West Sacramento mixed in there as well too, or maybe the Vineyard area. So a lot of people like the Rancho area, this specific area, because it's super close to Folsom Ranch. They're going to be building that new athletic center, everything too. So it's a really like a good spot if you're looking for a brand new home and you want to keep it very like relaxed, and they're giving great incentives. I mean, Tri-Point's doing 6% off the house price. KHOV is doing 3.5s. I mean, it's a really, really good spot if you're looking for a brand new home. Yes, there is Melrose, and some of the communities, I'd say 50-50, have HOAs. So just be aware of that. Now we're going to move into some fun stuff. Ready, Aaron? You'll love this.
Yeah,
one.
Let's do it.
You might not even know this. Now, if you're moving there, you're saying, all right, Mark and Aaron, you guys covered the houses, you covered all that stuff. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't know. If you're a microbrew fan or a brewery fan, Rancho Cordova has what's called the Barrel District, which is some of the most known breweries in all of the Sacramento area. And so it's like Flaming Barrel, you got like Movement Breweries. So if you're someone who's like saying to yourself, I'd love to go somewhere and there's fun things to do. Yes, there's family stuff. We do the movie nights all the times in Gold River and Rancho in Anatolia, and they got tons of parks, tons of soccer, yes. But you also have like this kind of like not upcoming, but this like hidden secret barrel district where you can go with your family. It's really family friendly, fun, music and everything too. What do you think of that, Aaron? Did you know about that?
I did not know about that. I'll have to check that out. Rancho's got all sorts of stuff, especially like sports related. It's crazy how many indoor soccer, gymnasium, all the different facilities. My daughter and my son, they love going to Wacky Tacky Town, which is like a McDonald's playhouse on steroids, basically. Like somebody filled a whole warehouse full of, spiral slides and stuff like that. There's a lot to do out there in terms of entertainment.
Oh yeah. And what do you think as far as price point goes for I'd say Gold River, if you're jumping into Gold River, and let's just say a 3 and 2, right? 3 and 2, I'd say if you're pre-approved with Aaron at 650, you're probably good to go. Could you go higher? Yeah, there's gonna be hires, but about there you should be okay. I'd say in Rancho, the part that's kind of closer downtown on the 50, if you get in at like 500 and you're looking for a 3 and 2, you should be pretty good. If you're looking for the new homes, I would say maybe anywhere in the low 5s, and it goes up to maybe like 8 to 900, probably around there. So that's kind of what you'd be looking at for price point. What do you think? Pretty solid?
No, that's solid. I mean, it's Rancho's one of the drawing points of it is that it's affordable in perspective to maybe Rockland or Folsom, El Dorado Hills. And because it's the thing that, like, another reason why I think there's a lot of potential is it's basically like bookended by some higher price markets that are very popular and growing as well. So it's like they're kind of riding the coattails a little bit of like Folsom / like Oak Grove's growth, but not necessarily having the same prices that those neighborhoods come with. So you can still get a really great house, be in an area that you want to be at, but not have to spend as much. So I like it for that.
All right, guys. Well, this could be Rancho Part 1. We might do Rancho Part 2 in the next future if you guys want to. We take requests too, so place down below the area you want us to go to next Monday. We're more than happy to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, if you could, smash the like button, comment. We're always trying to make these videos better for you guys, people who don't maybe know the area and want the inside scoop. And like I said, Aaron and I both have done a lot of business in the Rancho area, Gold River, Anatolia, and we're out here waiting for your phone call to help you and answer any questions you have. Aaron, any parting words?
Hey, we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video on Rancho Cordova in the Sacramento area. If you're thinking about making the move to the Sacramento area, Rancho is an area that you definitely need to know about. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And guess what? We have another video for you right over there. Another fantastic area of Sacramento that you need to know about. Have a good one.